Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back in the video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. So, ask and you shall receive, although maybe it might be a little delayed. Some people have been asking me for some time to do a basic introductory video kind of talking about different sorts of gem razors, and for some reason, today's the day. Let's do it. So, for a long time on this channel, I was using exclusively gem razors, razors that look like this. Some people are really turned off by the look, but I found that as time went on, I went further and further down into the rabbit hole, and I grew to really love the way that those razors look. So let's first talk blades. I'm going to try to make this as practical as possible, not really go into the history too much, because there are certainly sources online that can give you a better description of the history of these razors than I can. So for the blades, I only recommend that you use coated, meaning PTFE coated stainless blades. And you can see this is the bulk packaging that you get most of these days. You notice it says 3 facet. It gives you this measurement here. And some of the other buzzwords: aluminum back, stainless steel, coated, which is listed here in some different languages. There's also a item code down here at the bottom, 62-0178. And so sometimes all of those things will be listed when you find these for sale on different vendor sites, but it's sometimes only some of those things. And so sometimes it can be difficult to tell if the blades are stainless and coated. Like sometimes it'll just say stainless, and they do make blades that are stainless but uncoated. So those are just some things to look out for. There's a whole host of people that you can buy these from, but ultimately just go for the Persona Gem ones. They're all the same blade as far as I understand. They're all made here in the US, and then sometimes they're rebranded, but you don't really need to spend the extra money on the rebranded ones. You can also find them that come in these little vaults like this, but again, you don't necessarily know if they're going to be the stainless ones unless it says it very explicitly in the listing. I don't recommend that you use vintage blades like this that are certainly carbon steel and may have rusted by now. Nor do I recommend that you use the somewhat more modern rebranded carbon steel blades. I just don't think that they're worth the hassle, and it's just something that people don't see eye to eye on, I guess. There are definitely some people that swear by the carbon steel, and power to them, but I'm just telling you, in my experience, the stainless ones, you don't have to worry about rust, and I find just that it's much more comfortable. So do not use the ones that are meant for peeling off stickers or cutting up carpets, because if you try to shave with those, they'll really mess you up. Okay, if you have any further questions about blades, feel free to message me and I can tell you if you're buying the right ones, because I definitely want you to buy the right ones if you're going to try these razors out. So for the razors today, I'm going to try to go from what I perceive to be the more mild gem razors to the more aggressive ones. So the mildest razor that most of us can agree on is this one that they call the featherweight, because it's got a very light plastic handle, and the head opens up like this. I wonder if this is a British one. Yes, so this is actually a British Everready brand, but they also made this here in the US under the Gem brand. And so this is really, really mild. If you want to start on that end of things, I can tell you to start here. The main difference in shaving with this kind of razor compared to other razors is that you want to put the cap as flat on your skin as possible, and you can tilt slightly if you feel like it, but you want to set the razor up much more like this, because if you try to shave like this, it's not going to be a good time. So if you've been watching my Carve Overlander videos that I'm using a bunch, it's basically the opposite angle with this razor compared to that one. So the featherweight is pretty mild. Some people believe that all the razors with this kind of head design shave more or less the same. This is a flying wing bullet tip guiding eye in the middle, you can see there. This one you twist to open up. And this is one of my favorite cased examples. If you go look up cased versions of this, there's a beautiful red, and there's also a blue kind of plastic case one. I have another one that's kind of in the same vein, this gem push button here. That one you push this black part on the bottom to get the cap going, and it's got the loading instructions here in the back, and you'll see this, they're telling you right here to hold the razor flat against your skin. So maybe they knew what they were talking about back then. Who didn't? The thing with all these razors, when you're looking for them on eBay or whatever, you need to make sure that it has both of these end stops, because the way the blade, I guess I could load one in. The way the blade is meant to sit in there is that it is held against those two stops. So I've learned in the past that it's not the best idea to hold this up at the camera, but you get the blade in there, you snap it, and then you make sure that it's behind those two stops. So the blade stops are very important when it comes to this razor. So keep that in mind. Okay, so those are kind of on the mild end. Toward the medium end, I have to talk about the razor that got it started for me, which is this 1912 Gem Junior variation. I think the one I had originally, no, actually it was this kind of handle. It's smooth, but it's got these little textures here, and so it was nice to hold. I really like the Gem Junior variation. It's usually the one that I will recommend to people first when they start off, because it's kind of in the middle in terms of aggression. You can find them everywhere. They made them in the UK as well, just not under that name. A cool, kind of milder version of the razor is the open comb Gem Damaskene. It's also a 1912 variation, but most people find that the ones with the open comb, that's actually more mild than the regular versions. So there's all kinds of 1912s out there. They made them under the Gem, Ever Ready, Treat, Star, maybe some others too. Those are the main ones though, and they're just great middle of the road kind of shavers, and you can spend all the time you'd like trying to figure out if one brand shaves a little bit better for you than some other brand. Some people really spend a lot of time in that. Now for the more aggressive side, you have to mention the original Micromatic, the open comb Micromatic. This is one of the other, the one I showed earlier, the bullet tip, that's another kind of variation. And then there's the clog proof, which I also really like that razor. I just don't have one to show you today. And there were two generations of the open comb Micromatic, twist to open bottom. The ones that had bumps in the middle and the ones that didn't. So the original version had no bumps, and some people feel like that makes the razor more aggressive. Some people feel like it makes it more smooth. But that's how you can tell whether yours is a first generation is not, first generation or not. Another easy way to tell is the first, the ones that are chrome, the chrome Micromatics like this, you know that that's a second generation. But if they're this brass gold color, that's where you have to look. So this is probably the most aggressive gem razor they ever made. And then also kind of up on the aggressive scale is this beautiful razor here, the sometimes what's called the Streamline razor. And this one was plated in chrome, and perhaps because of the scarcity and the chrome plating, these do fetch a pretty penny. Because it's chrome, you could it kind of, the plating is sometimes sort of peel off, and so you can see the brass that's remaining there. So this is not a razor that I think you need to try right away because of the price. You know, it's not really worth the price unless you're going pretty far down into the rabbit hole. I don't think it shaves any better than like a 1912 that you can get for $5 or $10. So of course there are more razors than that you can find out there, but those are the most important ones in my opinion that I saw in my collection when I was looking through today. And I hope that this was helpful to somebody. Again, if you're ever wondering, should I buy these blades or should I buy this razor that I'm looking at on eBay or something, you're more than welcome to send me a message and I'll be happy to look at it and give it my stamp of approval, if you will. So that's the video. Thanks so much. Feel free to leave a comment or question down below. And let me know if you've tried gem razors before and what your opinion is of them. Okay? For now, this has been HD Shaves. Take care. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.